So we're well aware that Synchron has an issue, and Fuwalos is at the forefront because we don't really have a way to counter it unless we have Ash, we have cross outs, or called by, we can draw ourselves. But what if we counter it with the same strategy where every time we synchro summon or whenever we summon from our extra deck, we draw a card as well alongside them? That's what Fuwa does. It allows your opponent to draw every single time you summon from the X. So this is just a theory. It's just a concept to take into consideration. And let me get straight into it. Because let's say they drop the Fuwa, and once again, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the interaction. Oh yeah, they imprint you here, they ask you there. Chill the F out, bro. Okay, so let's say, in theory, okay? Because it'll all make sense once the combo is coming to a close. And then I'll give you other options, other theories that you can consider as well. Okay, so this is gonna be a speeder, and usually we dropped off the TG because we wanted more, I guess, synchro climbs and more boss monsters, and if we're getting drolled, then why play TG, right? But if we don't get drolled, right, you go ahead and make TG here, and then you just start drawing now, right? And this is why you're playing charge. This is like an old classic. This is what we used to do, right? And then I'll show you another line where you can make an immune TG as well, so you can keep drawing. And if you've been watching me on Mash Duel, we did that before, where we would make an immune TG so we can draw into the card destruction. It's pretty epic. But this is all basic sequencing, except we're trying to draw as many cards as possible to counterbalance their resources, right? Because our board seems insignificant because of the amount of cards that they have, right? If we have 5 interactions, they'll have probably 5 interactions on top of the cards we gave them through Fuwa, right? So they'll have 10. So they'll out-resource us by 5, right? That's just basic, an example, right? But what if we counter every single interaction card for card in the same way? This is what's possible, maybe not what's probable. It's what we can potentially do, but not necessarily something that we can hope to achieve every single time. But this is just to depict the scenario that we could possibly do this, and the whole reason why we would even consider TG in this way, okay? So just keep that in mind. We're drawing a bunch of interaction. It's not just our board, okay? We'll keep drawing. You're gonna go ahead and summon your SMSD, and I'll be showing you guys a different way, because the majority of you will be like, okay, what if they imprint your guy, right? Because that's going to be one of your guys' main concern. What if the imprint TG halfway through? Well, that is a bummer, but that's beside the point. I'm just saying, like, if you get to a point where they do not interact with TG, they're like, oh, okay, they will inevitably get access to an imperm or a Veiler, and they will try to do it, right? Which is what I'm going to show you in the next combos, in case that does happen, right? Okay, so we'll just negate it, I guess, if you can. You could have preemptively made it where you make a TG unaffected, but I'll show you that in a different combo. But this is just to basically simplify it and just depict without any sort of, I guess, niche scenarios, okay? Okay, so then here we set up our XL Synchron, right? And we go Omega, hand rip, like it matters. It's fine. We get back our SMSD. So we have double on me. Okay, so now we're here. Okay, so the worst case scenario that you would argue is, oh, they just drop your whole field. Okay, that's fair. But every deck has a bottleneck. There's only so much things they can do before they reach their threshold and they can't progress. Because on top of the board that they have to clear, they have to deal with all the potential interaction that you would have drawn. Okay, so this is the worst case scenario, okay? Let's say they droplet you for everything, okay? Everything's negated, but then you still have a bunch of hand traps. And if you can time them properly, it'll mitigate the impact Charmy would have had on this game. So this is just an example. It's hypothetical. Of course, there's different things you can try to do. And if I was on the opposing side, I can make the same argument. Oh, okay, I would do this. I would do that instead. But this is just to show you the example that I'm trying to present here, okay? Just to visualize the concept that I'm trying to showcase. Okay, the guys, like, this is just like the AI bot, so it's like not really gonna do anything optimally. It's just to give you an idea of what they could have possibly have done. Like, they could have gone for SP. If they go SP, then it means you live, which means You don't have to use your nib. If you have nib, you have your assault in your graveyard, you can revive it, you can imperm, you can droplet, right? There's gonna be a point where they're gonna just reach their tipping point where they just have no more gas left, right? And you just match them, right? Because they need to discard an entire hand to nullify your board with droplet, right? And then in the other combo, I'm gonna show you how to do it with just so you won't really care about droplet, and that's gonna involve the Herald, which is huge because that means they can't even droplet you, which is crazy. And then if you get overwhelmed, you just drop nib, right? That's the whole point. You're just matching their resources. TG rivals the Charmy, right? Theoretically. But of course, it's just a theory that we can implement, not necessarily something that will always be the case. It'll resolve, but just a bit of theory. It's just you're just matching the resources. That's all we're doing, right? That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. And then next turn, all you do is attack 3 times. You just attack 3 times with your Majestic. Like, pretty crazy, you know? Don't mind that. The bot just didn't know what he was doing. But let me show you the other combos, because there's other things you can do. Alright, so this is going to be another example. But in this case, you're going to require triple tactic thrust, or draw the card you're going to set off triple tactic thrust, okay? So we're going to implement the same concept, but this is going to, I guess, counter the argument of, oh, what if they just interact with TG? Well, there's a way where you can make an immune TG, but let's say they don't draw it till later. They don't draw the imperm till like mid-sequence, at which point you might have drawn tactics, right? Thrust, and then thrust will be able to set the counter to Charmy, which is a classic because we used to use it way back when, and it was insane because Maxx C used to be everywhere, and it was like the perfect counter because you would be able to insulate it. If they try to negate it, if they try to ash it, we would just have a negate anyway, so it was pretty insane. And then droplets didn't exist back then, so that was never a thing, whereas droplets exist now. But you have to find a way to where you can negate it, okay? So then here, we're just doing the same exact thing, and you see that I have thrust. So you do not want to use this yet, right? Because this is just a depiction of what is possible, not necessarily what is probable, okay? There's a difference. So we have to make sure that we can resolve this thrust, so we're trying to insulate it. We're trying to get to our omnis, and if they interact with this anytime between now and then okay, fine, fair enough. But the point is, this is a theory that we can attempt to implement, and it's just something to consider, something to think about, because I thought that was pretty interesting. And then we're gonna go ahead and revive. Assault reviving that guy is huge. The chick is quite crucial to our end board, especially in the next combo. Revive the SD. Get our rumble. Look at so many interactions. Like all those Charmy draws. Like they're drawing, we're drawing. We're equal right now. Or we're equal, right? There's so many cards. I mean, I guess they draw. I think they draw 2 more because. Oh, well, no, they draw 1 extra one because imperm, negate it. We summon off illumination, so they draw 1 more extra, right? Yeah, they draw 1 more extra. Okay, then Rumble revives the junk, and this is where we get our Herald, okay? Because we want to make sure we can protect our Slump, and they can't droplet us. You'll see why this is very important, okay? So then now, droplet can't save them because we can negate droplet because they will need to summon a monster, right? But before then, in draw phase, you're gonna activate Heavy Slump, so they can't droplet you, okay? So they try to go droplet onto your Slump. Well, look. They go droplet, chain. They chain the Ash, we negate. That's a pretty good setup. So now it's a matter of, okay, do we add this alongside cross out, drop, called by, small world, right? We just have more ways to counter Charmies, which is something that we have to consider because we're the type of deck that don't really have a conservative play, whether that's a bad thing or a good thing. It depends who you ask, but it's still something that we have to consider. And then now, like, what do we do? Like, you gonna run over the Herald? Does it matter? Like, no, I'll just protect the Herald, keep my Omni, nuke your guy, right? That's so cool. Jira protects the Herald. It's basically what Cyber used to do. Is what Junk Garner used to do way back when. Okay, and then attack and GG. Let me show you the other combo. It's pretty insane. All right, so this is gonna be in case you want to protect, or you want to make sure that you can insulate your TG to not be negated by like an imperm or something like that, right? Because it'll depend. Because sometimes they might not imperm you early on. Maybe they draw imp late. It's all subjective. It'll vary from game to game. But this is just what's possible and what you can potentially do, right? It's theory, and whether you can implement it will vary from game to game. So in this case, we revive the chick because we need to make the TG with your sort of Synchron, okay? Otherwise, it makes it kind of weird. You have to, you know what I mean? You'll see what I mean. So we add, because we need to make the ASTI with the junk compared to the previous combo where we have to make TG with the lefty and the junk. Or in this case, we go into ASTI effects, and then we make it immune TG. You will not draw as much, but you'll draw a sufficient amount of cards to get you closer to the thrust, right? So then now we go into Excel, climb, get a token, and then we are doing our basic combo that I showed you before, right? So the whole goal of this is just to get access to thrust or draw the slump itself, and while keeping the TG immune, right? So they will need to like have like Nibiru or something, because otherwise you can keep synchro summoning. Go for Crimson, search, add Rumble, draw another card, and then now you just trying to draw as much as possible. And the sequence will be different because of how you initiated it, right? You took a different route, but it's manageable, which is what I like about this deck. You can pivot, which is great. And you go for your Jura, you revive your chick, and this is where it's crucial because you still want to make sure that you can get a Herald on field, right? Because you do not want to lose to Imperm, not to Imperm, to Droplet. You want to be able to negate Droplet, because that's like worst case scenario. Because you want to be able to go slump and draw phase. They can't Droplet you. If they try to Ash you, you negate, right? Like that's the whole setup you want to get. You go for Herald, you get another draw, then you go Thrust. If they have Ash, you negate it with Jura. I mean with SMSD or Despatic, you negate it, and things got banished, right? So once again, draw phase, they Droplet you. They can't send monsters because of Herald, and then finally you negate it. They put everything back. That counters the Charmy, and you still have like potentially 7 interactions that are not on board, right? That's pretty crazy if you think about it. Like, you know, what are they gonna do with 2 cards? A Typhon? Like you possibly have ways to negate Typhon, right? But yeah, this is all theory. It's just something that I implemented on Saturday. The video should be up tomorrow, if my scheduling is correct. Yeah, it should be on tomorrow for the rest of you guys. But you'll see it in action, and it's pretty crazy. Like, oh my god, it's pretty crazy. It's crazy to see it like theory just being implemented that way. That's crazy. All right, so here's the list, and it's very cookie cutter. As you see, I even cut the tuning because I wanted to keep it under 40. And you want to see non-engine to simplify and make sure that you can allow your 1-card combos to go unhindered, right? But it could be a bit of a struggle because it's not resilient, so you got to make sure that you do simplify. You want to see the draws to mitigate the consistency that modern decks require to fulfill their oppressive boards, and then you simplify when they try to attempt to do like a half board or something, and you can hit them with a nib, and that takes care of the rest of the end board that they can possibly be establishing. And then you finish it off with Imperm, maybe Ash. You just want to see this, and then off of TG, you're only gonna get a certain amount of draws, so you want to make sure that the deck is as small as possible because you want to be able to see this as often as you can, right, alongside attack. It's not the same theory behind playing higher card count deck, right? Because a higher card count deck means you want variation in a sense of the consistency you're implementing to supplement the deck's resiliency. That's the deck's issue. You're not resilient, so you need to increase the card count to add supplementary engines to mitigate that problem. Whereas in this case, we want to make sure we keep it low to ensure that we can see this as often as possible, right? So it's different, very different. It might appear like it's the same thing, but it's not. Okay? Just be mindful of that. But yeah, you can either main deck it, be crazy if you main deck it. I mean, you could. If you win a dice roll, you take the Mulcharmy challenge, you know that you have this and you want, you know, just do your board. It's fine. Go fearless. Or you can just side it as well. Just side it and it'll work just as good. Preferably, ideally, you would side it because you don't know if you're going to go first or not. So drawing into the twin second is not ideal. Eliminate that fact. And the non-engine, you can change it. You can play doubles if you want. These ones, you can swap these out. Play 2 nib, 2 imperm, double droplet, just to give yourself a bit of variety of non-engine to draw off of TG, right? Because you don't want to draw multiple nibs or like, I mean, you don't mind drawing multiple imperm, but these cards right here, they're kind of utilized to stop Charmy as well. So that's why you max these out close to these ones. Yeah, that's basically it. I showed you guys what's possible. Whether it's probable, probably not, but it's just theory that we could implement. It's just a concept that can be considered. That's basically going to be it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.